What's up, galera? Tudo bem com vocês? Today's class is about how to date Brazilian girls for gringos. This is not a pickup manual, but it is a list of 10 tips that will help you get along better with your Brazilian girlfriend, or maybe the girl you want to be your girlfriend. This video is in English, so please send this to your gringo friends, your gringo crush, or maybe your gringo boyfriend. It'll definitely help. And if you're Brazilian and you want to speak English, maybe you want to get that gringo, maybe you want to travel, I recommend you take a class with Cambly. It's an online language learning platform. They have native teachers. You can learn at any time of the day. And with my link right here in the description and this code on the screen, you get 10 minutes for free to test it out. Maybe you can even study this video in the class. Give it a shot. Now let's go to the 10 tips for dating a Brazilian girl. First one, respect the women. There's a stereotype abroad that Brazilian girls are easy, and it's something that definitely is very offensive. Maybe it has something to do with the image of carnival or the people in bikinis on the beach, but every girl is very different. Don't assume just because you're gringo, she wants to be your girlfriend. Sometimes a Brazilian girl might just be friendly because she's curious about your country and not want anything more. So pay attention to these things. I think respect is the base of everything. That being said, tip number 2, no seja lerdo. Don't be too slow. Brazilian girls often complain that American guys or British guys or gringos are very slow, depending on which culture, but maybe they'll be on a date, they'll be giving eye contact, they'll be flirting, and the American guy won't make the move. A Brazilian girl might take this as a sign of disinterest. Brazil is a very kissing culture. If someone is interested in you, it's not uncommon to give a kiss right away. This also might not lead to anything else. It might just be a kiss. So don't be too slow. Pick up on the signals. Don't waste too much time to make your move, if the girl is interested in you. So remember these 2 things. Respeita as minas, mas não seja lerdo. Next one, learn Portuguese. It's very important that you learn Portuguese, at least the basics. It's gonna build a stronger connection. Plus, when she's talking to her mom on the phone, you're gonna wanna know what she's saying. Mãe, ele é fofo, mas acho que ele não gosta de tomar banho, não. Toma pelo menos 2 banhos por dia é nada menos que seu dever. Show affection physically. It's very common for them to sit on the same side of the table on a date, to kiss in public. Fazer cafuné, which is a word that I don't know how to translate, means rub your hands gently through the hair. But these are very common things, and if you don't do this, the person will think maybe you're not interested in that. So I know it's a little different from an American culture, which is less likely to touch, less likely to show affection in public, but if you really want this girl to like you or think that you're interested in her, show some affection in public. You don't have to exaggerate. You don't have to do anything that makes you feel uncomfortable, but a little bit of affection goes a long way. Don't be sem sal, or she will be sem sal. Sem saudades de você. Learn the culture. Language is one thing and the culture is another thing, and they're kind of connected, but don't just learn the language, learn the culture. Learn the different styles of music, learn a little bit about the history, learn about the regional differences. Basically, when you have to meet her parents and you're at a churrasco, maybe you can impress them by DJing and putting on some good music. Typical barbecue music like Raça Negra, chiqui 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 dum, cheia de mania, mulher que gosta. Yeah, you know, just little things like that. Brazilians are very family oriented. If you want her to go from liking you to really loving you, I think you have to impress the parents, and knowing the culture goes a long way. Plus the memes. Brazilians love their memes, and if you can understand a Brazilian meme, yeah, you're ahead of the curve. Speaking of humor, it's important to be funny and it's important to have things to talk about on the date, but don't be too sarcastic, especially when there's a language barrier. If you try to be too sarcastic, I think, you know, the joke won't land. Maybe they'll think you're being rude, and sometimes the jokes really aren't funny. I've seen a few jokes where I'm just like cringing, like, oh, he didn't say that, did he? Don't make any negative jokes about Brazilian culture. Oh, it's so dangerous. Like, oh, do you have a monkey at your house? Like, that stuff is not funny. They won't find it funny, especially coming from a foreigner. And especially, it's a special one for my au pairs. Don't make fun of the au pairs for being au pairs. It's an opportunity for them to study abroad, learn a new culture, and save money while they're doing it. So it's a cool experience for someone to do. Respeita as minas e respeita as au pairs. Okay, first of all, you're gonna have to download WhatsApp. This is a double one. So responde rápido e beija devagar. So respond fast on WhatsApp. Once both of you like each other and you're out of the joguinho phase, like, they're gonna be joguinhos. Some Brazilian girl said, oh, tell them not to play joguinhos. I'm like, well, tell some girls not to play joguinhos também, because like, everyone plays little joguinhos. But once you're kind of committed and you both people like each other, I think you should respond fast and kiss slow. That's my tip, you know? Nice, and use the tongue. That's like a big thing that they said, you know, like, I feel like a lot of Americans like kind of kiss like, It's like, that's not a kiss, you know? Use the tongue, you know? Just saying. And just tip for the ladies, if he's not responding fast and he's ghosting on you, it's probably a sign he's not really interested. So, aceita que dói menos. Open up. So I talked about being a little more carinhoso, showing a little more affection, but also open up with your words. I think Portuguese is a much more expressive language. It's much easier to express affection and love. So, you know, use these words. Tell her how much you care about her. Tell her how pretty she looks. You know, maybe instead of trying to make that sarcastic joke, say, you have such beautiful eyes, you have a beautiful smile. Você tem sorriso bonito, você tem olhos lindos. Tenta, funciona. Be caring with your actions and also with your words. So open up, se abre. Não seja fechado, não seja frio. Show her new places. If she's visiting your countries, if it's United States, Australia, England, show her new places. Give her like an inside look into the culture. People really love that when they get the inside look, when they feel like a native and not just a foreigner. Introduce them to friends, introduce them to new places, family, friends. It's really cool. That's something that I've always loved when I'm in Brazil. I can really feel like a local, and that's something that the girl would want too, so show her around. Finally, this one is like still a little something I haven't really fully understood, but I think there's like a different like structure in the from like meeting, hooking up to dating in Brazil than United States. I think this deserves its own video, but generally in Brazil you have to specifically ask someone out. Okay, now we're dating, like we're official. I think in United States we have this a little bit. You're hooking up and then you get the conversation. So what are we doing? It's similar, but I think in Brazil it's very important that you specifically ask them out. Are we dating? Are we exclusive? So try to do that, and you know, visit Brazil. Visit Brazil, that's the last tip. If you haven't been there, visit Brazil. It's a great country. You don't need a visa anymore. You know, Ministério de Turismo me patrocina, que está esperando, né? Espero que tenham gostado. I hope you liked this video. Até mais. Peace.